system anatomy view.
Today we're studying the urinary system and the anatomy of the urinary system, including the kidneys. This session of Crash Course Anatomy is narrated by Jen Reedy. Go!
Okay, this is the kidney.
The kidney.
Okay, and this is the renal capsule, which is the outside of the kidney. This is the renal cortex, which is the next layer inside the kidney, and the renal medulla is the next inner layer. The renal columns are in between the renal pyramids. Okay, the renal pyramids are these triangular shaped structures here, and the renal columns are in between there. The renal papilla is at the base of each pyramid. Renal papilla.
The pelvis.
The renal pelvis is this right here. And then you have your minor calyx, which is right here. And then your major calyx is here. And your renal hilus is where the arteries and veins enter and exit the kidney, which is this whole area right between here and here. This is the renal hilus. Okay, so now we have these little dots right here on the cortex. These little dots are represented on the next model. This is the model of the pyramid, and this is glomerulus. These are these little dots here. So this is just a blow-up version of these little dots. This is the glomerulus inside of the Bowman's capsule. And this model here is a bigger version of that. So this is the Bowman's capsule, and you have the glomerulus inside. Okay, so
The space.
we have the parietal layer, which is inside the Bowman's capsule.
Looks like a dinosaur. May I just add to that?
And then the capsular space is in between the parietal layer. Your visceral layer is on the Bowman, it's red on the blood vessel. This is the visceral layer. The Bowman's capsule, which we know is this capsule surrounding the glomerulus. This is the glomerulus. And then if we go to this model, we can see the renal artery and the renal vein. Okay? And then we have our segmental artery, which leads into the interlobular artery. And then we have a renal artery.
We'll edit that.
Sorry, renal artery, segmental artery, interlobular artery, arcuate artery, and then the interlobular arteries are these little red arteries in between there. Those are the interlobular arteries. Okay, so then we have to go to the other model for the afferent arteriole, this is the afferent arteriole, and these structures here, these green structures here inside the pyramids, this is called a nephron. So we have actually, this is the functional unit of the kidney. These tubular structures, that's called a nephron. Okay, so then we have our juxtaglomerular cells, which are these cells right here on the afferent arteriole. And then we have the macula densa, which is on the distal convoluted tubule right here. Let's see. Okay, we have now we go to the proximal convoluted tubule is right next to the Bowman's capsule. Right next to this is the proximal convoluted tubule right here, this light green here. And the distal convoluted tubule is this dark green tubule here. That's the distal. So we have the descending limb, which is going down towards the medulla. It's this light green. And then we have the loop of Henle, which loops around here. And then you have the ascending limb. And you have the thick ascending limb. And then you have the collecting duct, which is white. This is the collecting duct. And then it goes all the way down to the papillary duct, which is right here. And then you have the peritubular capillaries, which are these little fine little web-like capillaries right here. and then you have the vasa recta, which goes straight down into the medulla, which are these red lines right here. Vasa recta, I think they're called, not vasa.
Right.
And then you have the juxtamedullary nephron, which is this long nephron here, and then it goes, this is longer, so you can compare it to the cortical nephron, which is the shorter one. This is the cortical nephron. So now we go to the bladder, which is on this model over here. We have, see, the kidneys go, these are the kidneys, and these are the ureters, which leads down to the bladder. Okay, and then you have inside the bladder, you have the ureteral openings, and then you have the rugae, just like inside the stomach, you have these little folds that allow the bladder to expand, called the rugae, and then you have the trigone, which makes up a triangle. The ureteral openings and the urethra, which is right here, these three, this triangle makes up what's called the trigone. And then you have the internal urethral sphincter, which are these muscles right here. And that's it. We're done.
Good job, Jim.
Thanks.